Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is kind of part 3 of the speed, distance, time questions. I know a lot of people are a big fan of them, so I just thought I would just do a couple more questions, slightly more challenging ones perhaps, and so we can just get into it. So as normal, take a pause and see if you can do this question, and then we'll come back to it. So a cheetah ran at maximum speed for 30 minutes. How long would it take for a lion to run the same distance if it was also running at maximum speed? So cheetah, okay, at maximum speed for 30 minutes, so it travels 60 kilometers, because 120 kilometers per hour times half an hour, which is going to be 60 kilometers. So you don't need a calculator for that, you can do that easily in your head. How long would it take a lion to run the same amount, same distance? So 60 kilometers divided by 80.5 kilometers per hour, because remember, time to speed equals distance over time, so then you can substitute that for distance over speed. So 60 divided by 80.5, 60 divided by 80.5 is going to be 0.745 hours, which is going to be equal to, so we times this by 60, 44.7 minutes, okay? Not too bad. So hopefully you guys should have got the hang of this by now. So, and also if you guys are new to the channel, please do check out my earlier videos, not just on quantitative reasoning, but I've done loads of videos on decision making in particular, as well as walkthroughs on each of the subsections that you guys will hopefully be able to find useful. Okay, great. So let's keep going. A lion was chasing a wildebeest for prey. The lion caught it after 6 minutes after the wildebeest started to run. How many seconds of a head start did the lion give the wildebeest? Assume both animals only ran at maximum speed and started from the same point. So you've got two animals starting at the same point. Got the lion and the wildebeest, and then they both sprint. Lion catches the wildebeest, but of course the lion waits a couple of seconds before the minutes or whatever it is, before the wildebeest sets off. So the point is we have to try and find this out. So once again, if you guys would like to pause, see if you can use your speed, distance, time knowledge and figure out the answer here. Okay. So the lion caught it after 6 minutes after the wildebeest started to run. So the wildebeest travels at 50 miles per hour. I'd like to convert that into kilometers per hour, which is then going to be 50 times 1.6, which is 80 kilometers per hour. Actually, I could have done that in my head now. It's a bit silly. And it's caught it after 6 minutes. So in my very first speed, distance, time question video, I mentioned about the importance, and if you haven't checked it out, like I said, please do go back and check it out. I mentioned the importance of learning the different breakdowns of a minute, the different subsections of an hour. So 6 minutes, 3 minutes. So 6 minutes is 0.1 of an hour. Okay, so 80 kilometers per hour, and you do that for 0.1 of an hour. So it's 80 times 0.1, which is going to be 8 kilometers. Okay, so the lion catches it after 6 minutes. So how much of a head start did it get? So we need to figure out how long does it take the lion to travel 8 kilometers. So 8 kilometers divided by 80.5. So 8 divided by 80.5 takes 8 divided by 80.5 takes 0.0993 hours. So I'm going to do is I'm going to times it by 60, which gives me 5.96 minutes. And remember, the wildebeest was running for 6 minutes and the lion was running for 5.96 minutes. So we want to figure it out in how many seconds. So I times by 60 again to get it into seconds. Times that by 60. So that's 357.7 seconds. So it takes the lion this long. And we know that the wildebeest was running for 360 seconds. And so therefore, simply the distance between them is the difference between them is basically going to be what the head start was that the lion gave the wildebeest. So the head start was simply 360 minus 357.7, which is going to be 2.3 seconds. Okay, and I guess that kind of makes sense as well. And so here I rounded actually. So I guess technically the proper answer should be 2.4 seconds, but I've just rounded it here. So if you guys are in the right area, that's what matters. Okay, so importantly, the point isn't about getting caught up in the details, but it's about the main way to do this question. So I hope that idea makes sense overall. So yeah, kind of had to work out the different ones. And once again, it's about experiencing different styles of question. And this is one of the things that I commonly hear about in QR. Students will do 2 or 3 mocks and they will say, why aren't I getting high scores? And I ask them, how many practice questions have you done? And they say, well, on Medify, out of the 800 sets, I've done about 50. And I go, well, that's crazy, because if you think about it, the point about quantitative reasoning is that there's only so much things they ask you, right? They don't ask you to differentiate or integrate. They ask you to add, multiply, subtract, and divide over and over and over and over again in a variety of different formats, whether that be percentages, ratios, conversions, currency, etc., etc. So all you have to do is get used to what they're asking, and the only way to do that is to do more practice questions. And so obviously mocks and stuff, everyone wants to get good scores, and you want to feel like you're making progress. But time practice is probably where you actually make progress. Mocks are indicators of your success, of where you are at right now. Right? You're not going to improve by only doing mocks. You've got to kind of stick with it consistently. Okay, hope that makes sense. So yeah, I know it's a bit of a kind of break from what we were talking about, but I think it's still something that's really, really important to consider. Okay, so let's keep going. So next question, same again. Take a pause, see if you can answer it. So to the nearest whole second, what was the time taken by the winner to complete the 800-meter race if Siobhan's time was 8% slower? Okay, so this is a good question. So what was the time taken for the winner to complete the 800-meter race if Siobhan's time was 8% slower? So I kind of copied this question from one of the Medify questions, I believe, that I saw. But the point here is it's a little bit ambiguous what they're trying to ask. But basically what they're trying to go for is that Siobhan's time is 8% slower than the winner. Okay, I didn't really clarify it here because I don't think Medify did either. But that's the kind of thing that we're heading for. Okay, so Siobhan's time is 8% slower than the winner. So let's have a look at Siobhan's time. It's 189 seconds. So Siobhan's time is therefore 8% slower. And for example, in like a normal question, you might think, oh, that means Siobhan is 0.92 of the person's time. But of course here, with timing, it's a little bit trippy because if you're slower, that means you actually take more time. So 189, Siobhan's time, actually represents 1.08 lots of x, where x is the winner's time. Does that idea kind of make sense? So to work out the winner's time, you just do 189 divided by 1.08, which is therefore 175 seconds. Okay, so this wasn't a difficult question, but just make sure you don't put your numbers the wrong way. And also I think one of the things that students often forget to do is just check. Okay, and especially in my currency videos, which I'm not sure if they're out yet, but one of the most important things you can do is to check whether you got the right answer. Is just simply, does it make sense, right? So here, if you end up with a greater time for the winner than Siobhan, then that doesn't make sense, because then Siobhan would have been the winner. Okay, does the idea make sense? You've got to think about it in different ways. So yeah, here 189 just divided by 1.08 gives you 175 seconds, which is the answer. Okay. Zainab competes in a 600-meter race and trips after running for 1 meter 23. If she maintained the same average speed as in the 800-meter race, how far did she have left to run when she tripped? So this is kind of slightly similar to a speed distance time question that was done in the last video. So once again, if you guys haven't watched it, please do check out videos 1 and 2. So let's have a go at this one. Okay, she maintains the same average speed as in the 800-meter race. Okay, so Zainab takes 200 meters to complete 200 seconds to complete 800 meters, and so this, you can see they've given us nice maths. So I know I didn't have to write it out, but it's basically 4 meters a second, and she's been running for 1 meter and 23, which if you can do in your head is 83 seconds. Okay, so the time that she's taken is simply 83 seconds. Sorry, the distance that she's traveled. Remember, speed is distance over time. Speed times time is distance. Okay, so, and the other thing is, if you do enough of these questions, and that's what I was referring to kind of like halfway through the video when I said about, students say, oh, why aren't I getting good at this? And they've only done a fraction of the questions. This stuff becomes second nature. Okay, I got a funny comment on one of my videos where someone said, when I was doing my DM walkthrough, where someone said my explanation for the probability questions was just me saying, yeah. And I think it's just because, like I said in that, I replied to that comment saying it's just because I've done so many of them that I just kind of know what to do. And sometimes, like I said, my brain was lagging a little bit and I didn't want to explain it out loud. I was just like, okay, I've got to get the answer and just do it as quick as I can. So yeah, the important point was, like I said, it was it's kind of a similar thing here. So when you think about distance, you just know it's speed times time. So 83 times 4 is 332 meters. Okay, so how long does she have left when she tripped? 600 minus 332. So remember, we're not quite done with the question there. It's going to be 268 meters. So I just did that in my head, but you can use the calculator as well if you'd like. 268 meters. The answer is that. Okay, 268 meters. Okay, great. So yeah, just taking you guys through a variety of different questions there. I hope this was helpful. As always, thank you so much for all of the support. The numbers, the comments, the views, everything is crazy. I can't quite believe it. But most importantly, I hope you guys are finding this useful. And like I said, it will be really, really good to have direction from you. And I will be leaving a link to a Google Docs in the description of this video, where what I'll probably do is I will either upload, I'll do like a live stream where you guys can just watch me work through these questions, or I will just incorporate them into my videos. So if you guys produce enough content, and also, so one of the things is if you can look through the document and see what other people have put as well, it might be that your query is similar to theirs, so you can just add questions on. Because the difficulty for me isn't about making questions on certain areas. Like, I'm happy to cover rates, I'm happy to cover geometry, but the problem is finding the questions, right? Because I just have to go into Medify to click like 10 on time sets or whatever, or whether it be on the official UCAT question bank and just search through them. And unfortunately, that can be very, very time consuming. So if you guys can provide me with that impetus, it really, really helps massively. Okay, so yeah, I will leave the link in the description. I hope that's helpful. Okay, perfect. So I hope this video was helpful. Please do comment what you'd like to see next. I just did quite a few speed, distance, time questions just so that they will be there available. Okay, so great. In that case then, take care guys, and I will see you in the next